again use ads in my business and why I don't recommend for you to either. This is a 12-part series, episode 2 out of 12. Yesterday was the first. Hi, my name is Emilia, and I empower good girls like me, like you, to give themselves the freedom and the permission to create a business as unique as you are, using simple, custom, mom-friendly strategies. Let's get into this. Why do I not recommend for you to do ads, and what was my experience in having done them? Over 5 years ago, when I first started my business, the very first program that I invested in, part of the strategy, without me knowing it, because I didn't ask what the strategy was before I went into it. I came into that program because they promised me I was going to be making $10K in 3 months. Needless to say, that didn't happen. However, I did learn a heck of a lot in that program. And one of the things that they had us implement was ads. And ads sound really great on paper, just like that program's promise sounded really great. The reality in the promise of that, when you invest X amount in an ad, let's say you invest $1 in your ads. And for every $1 that you invest, you get back X times that amount. So maybe you get out times 2, times 5, times 10, times 20. Oh my holy moly. It would be amazing, right? The reality, though, that we don't see in the idea that sounds so too good to be true, right? In implementing ads, is that we don't realize that ads really work when you have a business that is at a much more mature stage than where your or even my business is at right now. Your business will work well with ads when you know exactly what is working in your organic marketing to bring clients into your world. Until you have organic marketing that is working like a charm for you and you are just reapplying the same strategy and wording in your marketing day in and day out, ads are not going to work for you. Ads are going to just be a way for you to throw away your time and your money. Because in reality, what we don't see behind ads is the amount of time that it takes for you to not create the ad, because in and of itself, creating an ad is just like creating any other form of content. It's really not that much more difficult, but it requires daily follow-up on it. It requires testing on it. It requires testing different audiences, different content, different formats, and having all of the stats. It will drive you crazy. It will drive you crazy because you are the only person in your business and you got a lot to do. You don't have hours upon hours to be sitting in front of your ads, checking them out, testing new things, and investing not only a ton of time and not only doing a lot of administration of those ads, but also delegating those ads to professionals. And in that, what we also don't see is that in all of that testing, in all of that experimenting, in all of that delegation, in all of those ads, you are also multiplying the amount of money that you are investing into that. So not only is it taking up so much time, you have no idea, but it is also taking so much money. Even if you were only investing some sort of minimal amount a day, I don't know what the minimum amount right now is in Facebook a day, but or wherever the ads are, YouTube, Instagram, I've done them all. Let's just say there's a minimum amount. I don't remember what it was before when I was doing it, but there's a minimum amount you can invest per day. And I spent so much money, not only on the ads themselves, but also on delegating to professionals who were supposed to really make sure that my ads were working. Because when I was managing them myself, I was like, is this how they're supposed to work? I'm not getting even times 2 out of these ads. maybe I must be doing it wrong, right? Because that's what we tell ourselves. It's our fault. When something's not working, it's because it's my fault. It's your fault, right? But it's not. A lot of the times, it is really not your fault. It has to do with something else. And that's what I learned when I started paying people a lot of good money to be managing my Facebook ads for me, was that in the end, they were actually not doing a better job than I was. They were just making a lot more money at doing it because I was paying them a lot of good money to do it. And then what I also didn't understand was, you could say they worked really well because they were theoretically bringing in a lot of people into my, hey, how are you? And they were bringing in a lot of really good people into my sales calls. But what was going wrong in that, and why I say that Facebook ads is yet another way of you wasting your time and your money, is that you don't necessarily control who is coming through those ads to you. You're trying to, in the way that you're targeting your audience and the words that you're saying in your marketing and all those things. But what I learned was that no matter how good I got at targeting my ideal client, no matter how good I got at the marketing part, the people who were coming to me 99% of the time were not actually people who were ready to buy. They were not at that place of know, like, and trust. Yes, they knew me. They were starting to like me, but they were not having enough trust in me yet in order to actually be ready to start working with me. And so I tell you not, I spent over 100 sales calls with people. Now, one sale call was not an hour. It was generally 2 hours that I was spending with these people. Over 100 sales calls, and not one single person signed up with me. That takes that takes a lot of gumption to keep going, right? But I did. And I did because I was learning so much, but I was also feeling extremely burned out. And that's the other part that we don't see in when you choose to run ads. You don't realize beforehand the time that you're going to be having to put into that. You don't realize beforehand how much money it's actually going to take for you to bring in the clients into your world that you're wanting to work with. And 3, you do not realize how much it increases your chances of going into a state of burnout in your business. And so that's why it's one of the strategies that I have tried and experimented with, and that did bring my business for the very first time. I'll talk about that in another live, but it did bring my business to 10K months. But that 10K was coming in and going straight back out into paying for new ads for me to bring in new clients. So I was in that place that so many of us can find ourselves in the trap of believing in a strategy that is supposed to work and on paper sounds so great. But in reality, when you're actually implementing it, you're not making any money and you're in a state of burnout. So this is why it's one of the types of strategies that I don't recommend to the women that I work with today, because it is not a fulfillment first strategy. It is a strategy that is for businesses who are actually at a much bigger and in a much later state than our businesses are at. And I don't believe that it brings you anything better than what you can actually get using very simple strategies that I teach you when we work together to organically bring in clients, because you have people around you today, whether you realize it or not, who are ready to start working with you. There are people who you know, potentially very close to you, who already know, like, and trust you, and who desire to learn from you the things that you bring your clients. The problem is that you don't see those people. The problem is that you think that they're not there. And so one of the things that we work on together is allowing you to identify who those people are, and to use very simple strategies to bring them into your world so that they can start learning from you the things that they actually desire to learn from you. And if that's something that you would like to know more about, if you want to know more about my very simple ABC method that allows moms just like you to implement simple strategies, to create a business that is as unique as you are, that doesn't require you to spend hours and hours and hours working on your business, endlessly going into burnout, that doesn't require you to be sacrificing time with your kids in order to actually be making money from your business. My invitation to you is to either comment coaching underneath of this, and I will offer you a free session. I will explain to you exactly what that is and how we will use that for you and your business. Or two, just click on the link in my bio and you will be able to schedule your free call. There is no requirement that you go any further than the call. For me, it's really a way to get to know you, know about your business, and to support you in your growth, no matter where you are on your path. So if you want to know more about that, reach out to me. I would love to be able to meet you, be able to talk to you, be able to support you as you grow your business. And I hope, among anything else, that you realize that there are ways for you to be growing your business very simply. And that if nothing else, this live is a way for you to be inspired to go in search of what that looks like for you in your business. See you very soon for another live in this delicious series of the things that I will never again do in my business. Talk to you soon.